This is going to be the first episode of the Get Real with Ray podcast, you guys. This has been a couple months coming for me. I kind of been working on this a little bit over a year. I'd actually started when I first started on Twitch. I wanted to do a podcast, but I wanted to kind of get more comfortable with people before I just started interviewing and talking to people online that I've never met before, because that's what they tell you not to do when you're little. So I'm glad that I can finally start it. So I guess we'll start with a brief introduction of me, and then I'm going to quickly introduce our guests, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. My name is Ray. If you guys don't know me, I'm a full-time attorney from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day during the week. And I've also been creating content on Instagram, TikTok, and now Twitch for about 8 years. I started on Instagram about 8 years ago, and I kind of moved that into all the other platforms, and then I came onto Twitch about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago now. And about a year ago, I think we're a little over a year now, I had the pleasure of meeting 3 of the most amazing people I've ever met on Twitch personally. I had the honor about a couple months ago of meeting them in real life. Many of you obviously know them, and we love them and care for them, so I'm not going to go too much into their introduction. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But I would like to welcome to the first episode of the Get Real with Ray podcast, B and Bree and Mama TV.
Hey, let's go. Love you, big homie. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is crazy to me. As you guys know, we're very, very fortunate to have the opportunity to be the first guest on Ray's podcast. I think this is awesome. I hope to see this content growing from Ray. I hope that he has the opportunity to bring more people on so we could be a part of that as well and see how you guys handle it. Mom Dukes, ladies first, would you guys like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mama Tang. This echoes. It sounds funny because I talk and it comes later. Okay, I'm Mom Tango. I'm Bee's mama and I'm Bree's mom. I'm here for them from beginning to end. You hear my cat. I'm a cat owner, and I'm a TikToker.
Oh my God, Mama's a
TikToker. Well, I'm Bree, of course. I'm the beauty. I'm the beauty of the show here. I've been with B. We've been together for 22 years now. Married for 10. I was in nursing for quite a bit. Things happened with that where dad taking care of him, so I ended up getting out of nursing. I was in hospitality for quite some time, so I'm now back into the medical field again. I'm still working from home though, so I got with COVID and stuff. It's crazy because I was working in the field for so long, and then I ended up had the chance to work from home, and I love it. I'm so happy with my job right now. So that's me. I'm me.
Hey, let's go. And no introduction needed. As you guys know, my name is B. Born and raised in Jersey, tri-state area in the building. Moved to the Panhandle in my early teenage years. Started school there, high school there. It was crazy. Met my beautiful wife. We worked at the same gas station, which I thought was crazy to have that opportunity to work with Breezy. She used to hit on me all the time, guys. She reminded me she had double D's every single shift that I clocked in on. She was like, "Oh, I have double D's, by the way. Oh, I have double D's, by the way." So we started doing the date thing for a little bit. It was absolutely wild. And I look back at those moments now. I was young too, guys. I was mad young. She snatched me up. Snatched me up out the cradle. I'm literally still in diapers, boys. But I think after seeing the relationship grow over time, we had a 1-bedroom apartment for 8 years, guys. Like, the struggle was real. It was paycheck to paycheck. I owned the same car that I got from Lazy. You guys know Lazy in chat. I actually got his mom's car. I bought his mom's car and had that joint for 10 years. It was an 84, guys. We know the struggle. Like, I think that's why our story speaks so genuine now. And we're easily relatable to a lot of people because there's no sugarcoating. A lot of people in chat have grew up with us. They've seen the struggle. They've seen us move to Orlando. They've seen us get married on the beach. I was with my same job for 16 years, guys. I went from franchise to corporate.
That's what I was. That's perfect. That's what I was gonna go to next. So I think a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to know, because there was a few questions that were submitted, and this is something that I had written down ahead of time anyway. Was we know a little bit about how you started streaming, but what was, I guess, was there a moment? You know, obviously it was around the COVID time when people were getting laid off, when companies were shutting down. Was there a moment where you were like, this is what I'm going to do? Or was it more of a over time, it kind of built up type of thing?
So the moment I knew I wanted to do it is when I first started watching Twitch. So years and years ago. Financially, I never had the financial nest egg to actually chase the dream together. When we first got introduced to Twitch, it was literally just coming off of Justin TV. And I still didn't understand it. We used to watch it on console. And I didn't understand it. So I think watching it over years, being inspired by other streamers to, the first stream we ever watched was a couple stream. And I was mind blown. I still watch them to this day. And I think being with my job for so long, I never had the extra time because me and Bree were always working, always 50-hour work weeks, nonstop. And
I honestly didn't think we would have gotten the chance to stream. Like, to me, it was just, a dream. It's like, oh, that'd be cool. Like, I'm relatable. I can talk to people. I know how to have fun. And it's like, but to actually do it, it's like, I would have never in a million years thought we would actually be able to get the chance. I mean, when I say work, that was it. We barely had time to, oh, she's cute. Leave her in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like
she's a part of the family.
She's a part of it, yeah. It's almost like a blessing in disguise, know.
Yes, but it was. It truly was. Right?
I think like you said, and not to interrupt you, but I think COVID had a lot to play in it when Bree, Mama, and myself were all put out of work. And we all worked these jobs for years and years and years, man. It was kind of like, okay, everybody's at the house. I think everybody was on lockdown. And I was like, okay, let's take this little bit of money. Let's build some PCs and let's try it. Let's go live. and to see the amount of support and the people that we met, that's literally how it started.
I said this one time and B looked at me and was like, bored. I was like, okay, we were bored. I was sitting up there reading books all day. We weren't working. It's like, he said, don't say bored. We weren't bored. But hey, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do with our lives. So
right.
We picked up we started streaming.
I think the biggest thing to take away from the way our situation worked and how we got introduced to it was one door closes and another door opens. I think that's the biggest thing to take away from it, man. Because honestly, if it wasn't for COVID and that whole situation shutting shit down, I would still be working 50-hour work weeks on my feet every day.
We would have never got the
chance. I wouldn't have had the opportunity.
We would have never got the chance.
Yep.
And Mama, this one is for you. How do you feel about that? Because this is your son. He's your pride and joy.
I'm great with it. If they're happy and this is what they want to do, I will hold them down as much as I can. I'm behind them 100%, and it seems to make them happy, and it makes me feel good because they're both home with me.
Yep.
So if I need anything, I know they're here. So I'm good with it. They say, chase your dream. If that's what you want, go get it.
Yeah,
Open that door and let's go for
that's
it.
That's a good outlook to have, because I think a lot of kids these days, their parents might not understand what this is, and they might look at it, and no matter what age, you could be a kid at 30, there's 30-year-old kids, and
exactly.
and
right
people
here.
don't, 40-year-old kids.
40-year-old kids. Exactly.
They're sitting on the couch playing games anyway. So if that's what they want to do later on, let them do it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You never know who the next ninja can be.
Right?
I just saw a TikTok. He was on not The Price is Right. I think it was The Price is Right. He was on The Price is Right, and he was on it like 7 years ago, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a professional gamer," and they were like making fun of him. They were like, "Oh, okay, like you go do you." And then he comes back on the show, and now his name tag says Ninja instead of Tyler. And they're like, he was here 7 years ago. He was a gamer, and now he streams on this and this and this, and he's making $1 million a month.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
You never know.
I want to see.
Chase your dreams, no matter what it is, no matter what space it is.
Yeah.
Even outside this streaming space.
That's what you want. Focus on it.
Yeah.
Chase your dreams.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of goes into what I was going to ask next was motivation, and in this industry, and this is an industry, it's a business, content creation, streaming, and entertainment, performance is all an industry. I think a lot of people that I've talked to and just other creators that I've listened to, the hardest thing for them is motivation. And I think that's because we're so based on numbers at the end of the day, your worth in this industry to all the companies that are going to pay you to be here is based on numbers. So I guess my question, yeah, it sucks, but that's reality. So I guess I want to start with Bree, because it's hard to I get it. It's hard to work a full-time job and then come and do not something that's work, but just something that takes some more of your energy after. So where's the motivation for you, at the end of the day when you have to come do this after working 8 hours?
My motivation has always been my family. It has always been my family. If they're not happy, if they aren't feeling fulfilled in their life and their choice, it's for me, it's always been family. That my motivation is literally, I wish my sister was here. I miss her and I love her so much, but my family is my motivation. If B and mama aren't happy, then I feel like I'm not doing my job, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, as just a person. I have always been so focused, and I think some of the things that happened to me, we will probably talk about that later too, because I saw that on there. But with my sobriety and stuff like that, always focused on everybody else being happy, and not really focusing on me. So I kind of lost myself along the way. But still to this day, my motivation has always been my family. If B's happy, if he's smiling, he freaking loves this. Like he is so damn happy to be here, and we have fun. Like I guess I don't want to say that was missing, but with regular work, I mean, we worked, we were focused. We came home, we were too tired to do anything. So for us to be able to be here, to laugh and to joke and to have a good time and to want to wake up and do this every day, he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave, and I'm happy to be here with him. And now, yes, Lord, my butt be tired, but still to this day, I'll do it every day. I'll wake up every day and do what makes my family happy, and that's always been my motivation.
And B, what about you? We heard a little bit about your motivation, long-term goal motivation, but what is like the day-to-day motivation?
The thing that drives me the most is people's energy around me. People's energy around me, that's the number one answer. I think waking up every day and hopefully creating a space where people can come and hang out and laugh and have a good time, because IRL life is crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on. There's bills going on. I mean, we can go way into it. There's a lot going on each and every day. We have people that come in our chat every day and they share, their life stories and their challenges. And hopefully we can take that, we can move that. My motivation is to create that space where people can laugh, where people can have a good time, where people can forget about the drama for a hot minute and hopefully just release a little bit of good times together with people they want to be around too. That's something I had to teach myself in content creation, about building a community, about building a safe space. I didn't know anything about that. I thought it was just live and go play video games, and that's far from it. That's actually the wrong mindset, in my opinion, to have. So I think the motivation for me to get up every day is to see other people around me having a good time. That motivates me to want to do a great job at what I want to do. You know what I mean? So 100% the motivation is the people around me having a good time. And when I see that energy in chat, when I see, those retweets and those posts and those likes and those comments and threads about us, motivating or inspiring other people, it's mind blowing to me, because I take inspiration every day from other people. So to see that and people name drop us is amazing. That's my motivation.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate with you for a little bit because, I'm a lawyer. That's what I do. What about when you don't have those things? Like, where does the motivation come from when there isn't that external validation, I guess, for lack of a better word? Like, where inside does that come from?
That comes from wanting to push to make it happen. When I don't see that feedback, when I don't see that constructive criticism, when I don't see those numbers, when I don't see that gain, when I don't see that growth, then I know I need to reevaluate what I'm doing and push even harder. That's my motivation. When you don't see the initial gain, then you don't let it get you down. You just reevaluate what you're doing, switch up your lane, and try to do better.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So if you don't see that, is that gonna deter you from wanting to do it?
I don't think so at all. I've gotten to a point where if you're not seeing if you're not seeing what you want out of the situation, then you just change it up and you try something different.
Different route.
I think that's a staple of our channel in general, because as you guys know, we don't log on and we don't go live and play one game the whole time. You know what I mean? We try different things. We try to make it different. We try to make it interactive. And I think that's a big, testament to our channel in general when it comes to wanting to create different content.
Because when you keep doing the same thing, it gets boring sometimes.
And for some people, it works. That's it.
Some people it works.
Yes,
some
ma'am.
people it doesn't.
And that's the thing about content creation. Like if you feel like you're not seeing the gains or the growth that you're wanting, try something different. Get outside your comfort box. If your numbers feel stagnant, if your growth feels stagnant, if you're not seeing anything, try doing something different. Start with yourself and then see how it reflects around you.
And that kind of goes into what I was going to say next. Was a lot of the questions that we got, and I think we're going to cover a couple of them just by answering this one question, is advice for people coming into the streaming space, coming into the content creation space. It was kind of for all of us, so I guess we'll go with you guys first, and I'll give my point of view, because I'm a little bit different in terms of my content, where I'm a little more focused sometimes on Instagram and TikTok, and less on Twitch and Kick and every other platform. So I kind of want to hear your guys' piece of advice, one each first, and then I'll go.
I want to start with that one. I would say don't stress so much about the numbers. I think that can hurt you and play against you as well. When you're first getting in, just get in and feel how you are. Get to know yourself to see if, hell, at the end of the day, you might end up being not liking it any damn way.
Correct.
Like, you know what?
Streaming isn't for everybody. It's not for everybody.
So don't so much worry about the numbers. Just get in and see and just have fun. At the end of the day, when you start to make it about a true, like when you're coming in and you feel like you have to do something or you have to be that way, that's when you start losing it. If it should be a want. It should be a want. It's like, I want to get up. I want to spend time with these people. I want to do crazy ass shit to make somebody laugh. It has to be, I say, start with you first. Don't worry about the numbers. If I think B did a really good thing with turning off the numbers, not worrying about that, and not having that in the back of his mind every day. Am I good enough, or what am I doing wrong? Just go in and have fun first, in my opinion, and see if it's something that you truly want to do. And then later on, you have to work things out, because you want it to be a business. You want it to be relevant. So, but just to have fun first, and figure out if it's something you truly want to do.
So fun first. That's Bree's advice.
Yes. I like that.
I forgot the question.
I love that, Mama. I love that. Mama's the best, guys.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, you're good, Mama.
Oh,
what's your best piece of advice to anybody coming into just this world?
Into the game.
Streaming world.
Into the streaming world, yeah.
My thing is, I don't know how to answer that.
We can come back.
Really
you can let B go first.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here 24/7.
Let me ask you, when you watch streamers, which you watch a lot, you're on Twitch probably more than half of this chat. Yes. Let's be honest. What keeps you engaged?
Just the different things that they do. They talk about. Like B and Bree have cooking streams. They have IRL streams. They have I can't say sleeping stream because he farts. So I have to go with just different things that they're doing on the and the reason why I follow some more than others is because I've met some of them.
So your advice is to be different.
Yes,
be different.
yes, to be definitely different.
Okay.
This
Okay.
echoing drives me crazy.
I know.
Because I hear myself here, and then I hear myself.
Right.
So it's like
what you can do though, you can pull out your AirPod until a question's directed to you. Yeah. Or when you're talking, pull it out so you don't hear yourself.
Oh,
yeah.
like this.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Just don't, Ray, because I can't read lips.
I think to double back on everything, I think Bree worded it perfectly. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Don't chase the numbers. Mama worded it perfectly. Make different content. If you see another streamer, you know what I'm saying, making content, don't double back on that content. You know what I mean? Don't piggyback on it. Create your own content. Put your own spin on it. You know what I'm saying? I think, like my wife said, we turn numbers off very early. I didn't even know you can turn viewer count off. And I think when I see other streamers keep their viewer count on and they get excited when their numbers, because listen, let's say the numbers don't refresh good on Twitch or Kick. You know what I mean? You could be at this number, but it doesn't refresh instantly. So when you see your number go up by 5 and your excitement level goes up and then it goes down by 10, you're going to think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not keeping my audience engaged? Turn your
How
viewers.
Did I lose them 10 people in this shorter time?
Turn your viewer numbers off immediately. That's my biggest advice to any streamers. Don't look at your viewer numbers. Don't look at your viewer list. Stop worrying about who isn't showing up to your stream and worry about who's showing up to your stream. Let me double back one more time. Stop worrying about who isn't showing up to your stream and worry about who shows up to your stream. That's the biggest thing right there. Don't be mad at somebody for not being there. You know what I mean? Support comes in many type of ways. Support is free. Support is free, guys. A retweet is free.
Yeah.
A like is free. You don't have to sub. You don't have bits. You don't have to do none of that. You could throw up alert. Support comes in many, many different ways.
And that's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly the advice that I was going to give, from my point of view is, because obviously I'm not doing this full time where you guys are doing it full time. So there's a bit of a difference when it comes to advice that you can give versus what I can give. Because I can't give advice on how to be a full-time streamer because I'm not a full-time streamer, but I'm a full-time content creator in the sense that, I spend some weeks like 30 hours editing videos, filming videos, reaching out to brands, things like that. And
that's good.
The hardest part, and I would say the best advice I can give for that type of stuff, for socials specifically, is to not care what other people think and post what you want to post. Because when you start thinking like, oh, I sound weird in this video, should I post this? I don't like this. You get in your head and then it just doesn't seem genuine and it doesn't come out good. Like the stuff that I post that I'm most proud of sometimes is not even the stuff that does the best. It's the stuff where I'm kind of just being myself and posting things because I want to post them. And it ends up getting the best feedback out of everything because
real likes real.
Real likes real. And it's that's
so true too.
It's true.
Ray,
I mean,
that's 100% true, man.
It's hard because at the end of the day, when you get into the promotional space on social media, it's people are sending you stuff to post pictures of. People are sending you stuff to have on stream or to put a logo on your stream. But it's at the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable posting it or if you just don't feel like it's your brand, or it doesn't have your artistic flair to it, then don't do it, and I think that's the biggest lesson I've had to learn and just kind of advice I would give, in that area is just do what makes you happy and don't care what other people say. Because people are going to say they like stuff that you hate and people are going to say they hate stuff that you like, and it doesn't matter. It's whether you like it.
I think that's great advice, man.
Yeah.
And that's one of the areas that we lack in is on socials. And that's another thing that we had to learn. Like, it's very crazy when you see like going live and hoping to grow isn't the play. And we had to learn that. When me and Breezy first started streaming, we were doing 10-hour streams. 10-hour streams.
14.
And that's not the way to grow, guys. You can't think to yourself that, hey, I'm entertaining, or hey, I'm good at this game. People are going to watch me when I go live. That's not it. Nobody knows who you are. So what you have to do, if you want to stream for 6 hours, stream for 4 hours and cut your content up for the last 2 hours and use socials, guys. Don't use socials just to go live either, because all you're going to look like is a going live bot. Post your clips everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, get your content out there. A lot of people say to me, we hear this one a lot too. They're like, "Oh, well, you guys have people that are watching you and they clip your channel all the time. We don't have that." Okay, so that's on you as a content creator to stop streaming for 6 hours, stream for 4 hours, go back and clip your own VOD and make content outside of your stream to bring people in.
Yeah,
the
and
best
I think
streams grow from growing outside of stream and bringing new viewers in. It's not about going live and staying live for long hours of time, even though we're on the subathon and that sounds like, counterproductive, but it's real. The way to grow is outside of your stream.
And it's hard because a lot of people don't realize that work that takes, and that's the hard part about streaming, about creating content, is not creating it. It's the back end of breaking it down, editing it, filtering it, shortening it, putting it to this site, that site, and that's the hardest part. This isn't the hardest part. This is the fun part.
Right,
this is the easy part.
Right. This is the good part. Like, I had somebody tell me one time that I was like, they were like, "Yo, B, I'm feeling stagnant. What do you think I should do?" And I was like, "How's your Twitter doing?" He was like, "I really don't use Twitter." And I was like, "Well, how's your IG doing?" "I really don't post on IG." "How's your TikTok doing?" I forget to post all the time." And that right there, but that person was like, "Oh, but I'm on Discord and I use Discords all the time." Let me keep it 1,000 with you. Discords get muted by thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So when you're posting, you're going live in Discord, or you're only putting clips in Discord, them shits are usually muted by a lot of people. So ain't nobody seeing your content. You need to get out there and put it on all the platforms, guys. And just like what Ray said, what you think won't go viral will get the most traction. And what you want to go viral will get no views.
Go, Ray.
That's for sure.
There you go.
So I guess that kind of goes into the next thing I was going to ask you, which is obstacles, right? And I'll give you an example. A big obstacle for me, and this is quite the opposite for you actually, is my biggest obstacle with all of this is the technology part, right? Like I didn't know how to set up audio. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know what was going on with the PC. I just used a Dell XPS for the first 2 years. I was like, oh, I just click buttons and it works, and
No shit.
So I guess obviously that's not an obstacle for you because I go to you with a lot of my questions, but it still is in a sense to everybody. But you learn as you go. But what is, I guess, it doesn't have to be a physical obstacle. It could be a mental obstacle. It could be a whatever. What is your biggest obstacle that you feel you've overcome when it comes to streaming specifically?
I would say being comfortable in your own skin would be one of mine. Trying not to, I was so camera focused. Is my hair in the right place? Because I don't wear makeup, but do I look okay? It's like, I look fat in this. And my own obstacle that I had to get over, just being comfortable with myself, being able to get on and, just do me. Just be real. It's like I curse
I think
like
that's
a damn
everybody
sailor.
too. I think that's everybody too, guys. Everybody, just like
It's like,
just like my wife said, I think everybody is worried about what other people think of them. And I know that's a thing that people deal with. A lot of there's people are judgmental in this world, and putting your face on screen, people don't want to get judged. I get that. That's why you see a lot of no cam streams or a lot of VTubers, because it's hard for everybody to get comfortable in their own skin. So I think that was an amazing answer, Mom Dukes.
I can agree with that.
Pull your thing out. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
I can agree with that. I don't know. Sometimes I have a hard time with the camera, because and doing this is really hard for me because I'm not one to, like, when I was in school, I wasn't one to get up and when you had to do projects, like, the teacher would put you with 4 people. One's got to do the drawing, one's got to do the writing, one's got to do the
essay.
Yeah,
right.
and I just wasn't that person, I wasn't the one that got up in front of the classroom. And Ray, by you putting me up here today, I feel like I'm in court.
Oh my God, Ray is a lawyer, though, Mama. Ray is a lawyer. Right, Ray
I
is a
feel
lawyer.
like I'm in court right now, and I'm trying not to say the wrong thing and say the right thing.
You're doing amazing.
I don't want a lady over here to go to jail for you know?
I think you're doing amazing, Mom.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah.
I agree with that's easy for me to agree with what my
Breezy
wife
said it all in a nutshell.
Yeah, Breezy knocked it out. Mama knocked it out. I think one of the things that I can add to that as well, because you guys know who I am. I don't care what anybody thinks about me, bro. As you guys know, it's easy for me to get on stream and be B, because I don't care what anybody thinks about me. You either fuck with me or you don't fuck with me, and you keep it moving. It's very easy, but some people lack that self-esteem or that self-confidence. You know what I mean? I had to teach myself that as well, coming out of high school or being an adult. Some of that stuff is hard to deal with when you get judgy. You know what I'm saying? People are judgmental. It is what it is. That's the world we live in. But to double back a little bit, OBS was huge for me to learn. I came into streaming with no audio background. Shout out to Kraken. I came into streaming with no video background. So shout out to the homies that go to, school and college and they learn these things, and then they jump into streaming with this big knowledge of background when it comes to audio and visual. I had none of that, guys. It took me 2 hours to create a scene with 5 sources. Now I could hop in OBS and I could set up multiple scenes in 30 minutes. But that's all self-taught.
Oh, he still likes to stall. He lied. It took him 24 hours to do this scene for today, right?
Well, once I opened up the scene, it took me 2 minutes. But I think all in all, OBS is very overwhelming, guys. Extremely overwhelming. And I think once you take the time to learn it and figure out what your branding and what you want your channel to speak of, it can speak volumes if you take it and you run with it. But you do have to give it some time. OBS was very overwhelming for me.
Okay. That's fair.
That was my obstacle.
Yeah, I mean that's those. I think those are the obstacles everybody deals with. It's just, I think a lot of people.
Ray, what was yours? I would love to hear.
Mine was.
What was your biggest obstacle?
I would say in terms of just quality of stream, like learning how to do audio and video and all that stuff, like, because I come to you, I'm like, oh wait, I can't connect my camera, I need this capture card, I need this wire that needs to connect to a USB 3 and not a USB 2, and I'm like, what is going on?
It's a lot.
So that's a lot for me. But I think when I really dig down, my biggest obstacle is it's kind of what Bree was saying is, and it's weird, right? It's weird because I am a lawyer and I talk in court and I talk in front of hundreds of people and I can give a presentation on whatever you want to talk about in the law. But when it comes down to it, the more intimate settings are harder for me, which is weird. You would think like some people have fear of presenting, but it's the opposite for me. So just kind of not thinking what other people are thinking of me, and kind of almost projecting that confidence that I have in other areas of my life in this area, which is, it's weird to think about, and I think everybody experiences it a little bit, because some people aren't like that.
I think about Mary J every time I think about that. Take me as I am.
Hey, don't get us the MCA though. We on Ray Stream too now.
Oh.
That man
You know what? See, Ray.
That's okay. I get muted all the time.
I know, but I think just like Ray said, and everybody agrees. I think chats can agree with that as well. That it's getting out there and feeling comfortable. It's probably the biggest obstacle for almost any streamer.
Yep.
No matter how comfortable you are in your own skin, you're still projecting your entertainment to what you're hoping the masses, So,
and I think I'm the opposite of Brian. I'm sorry, of B.
I
can't help it.
Mama, you've been calling you that for 40 years.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think I'm the opposite of B. I worry about what people think.
Mama does.
Yeah.
Mama's very self-conscious.
Like that. But now I worry, is my hair okay? Wait, I gotta match my outfit. I can't wear checkers with polka dot, because if I see somebody in the street, and I people watch. I love the people watch. I'm like,
But you're judgy on other people when they walk by, so I think that hits your mind because you think when you walk by other people, you're being judged. Yeah.
It's normal though. I feel like
it is normal.
that's what people do, and that's the culture. That's the hardest part. Is that's the culture of all of this. Is what are they doing? What do they look like? What do I look like? What am I doing? And
what are they
that's
thinking about me?
And that's what we were saying before about advice. Is just not to try not to think like that, to separate it. But it's hard. That's one of the hardest parts.
Yeah. It is very hard.
It's hard as hell to act like somebody else, but it's easy as hell to be you.
Yeah, that is true. And it's we see people all the time trying to be other people, and you can tell. It's just not. It's not the same. So why don't we go into, because we're getting on. I want to leave like 15 minutes at the end to 20 for a little bit of rapid fire questions from what we got submitted. But I do want to talk about a little bit of a more difficult question. We knew these kind of questions were coming. I think this is what separates what I want to do on this podcast from what a lot of other people do. There's no fluff. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we're not real people who have real issues. I guess we'll start with sobriety, because that's something that obviously you guys are very upfront about, which I love. You know, I've had people in my life who are sober. I've had people who should have become sober and didn't. And I have people that currently, you know, maybe should consider seeking help. So I guess for you guys, how has that, in the best way you could describe it, played a part in all of this?
100% a part of this. Without our sobriety, we wouldn't be here. We absolutely would not be here. You know how you can tell yourself when you're headed for self-destruction. I think we were truly on that path. Lost a lot. I mean, when I say a lot, Ray, I've never been a materialistic girl. Can't stand the stuff like, but we lost so much. There was so much that we had built up, and just drinking. That's why I was talking when you mentioned it earlier. It's like with taking care of my dad and those things like that. So I was always focused on everything else and forgot about me. So once he got overwhelming, it went to the alcohol. I went to drinking just to sleep. Sometimes, actually, literally just to sleep. Didn't want to think about life. Didn't want to deal with life. Didn't want to have to take care of anything. So it played a major part. If we wouldn't have got sober, I don't think we would be here. I literally don't think we would be here. I would be lucky enough to be alive. I'll be honest with you.
Wow. Thank you for being open. No, but that's, I mean, B.
Mom Dukes, you can take it.
Go ahead, you can take it.
You gotta want it. You gotta want it, guys. You gotta want it. You know what I'm saying? I was told for many, many years, I'm always down to have a good time no matter where I'm at, no matter whose house I'm at, no matter what club I'm at, no matter what bar I'm at, no matter what restaurant I'm at. But I didn't have a cutoff point. I did not have a cutoff point at all. And I don't out anybody in the same situation. I don't out anybody that has a good time, that has a drink, that rolls up, does whatever they do to have a good time. I was told for many years by the people around me that I needed to tighten up, but I wasn't ready. I think it takes that person to be ready, and to admit their faults.
Exactly.
I was told many, many times, B, you're doing this, you're falling off the track, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I would literally pour another shot and be like, absolutely not. I'm doing my thing. I'm living. I'm having a good time. I had to stop. I had to hit the brakes. And I know this is going to sound cliche, but it is what it is. You got to start with the man in the mirror. You got to look in that mirror. Do you want it? Do you want it? The people around you want it. They want better for you, but do you want it? Correct. You got to be ready. And once I was ready, I sat down with my wife. Like my wife said, it's easy. Guys, we lost a lot, but we gained a lot more, and we gained each other. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to our 3 year sobriety and the next 3 year sobriety and the next 3 years after that, I could rock with you anywhere. No matter where you want to hang out, I can go to any bar crawl with you. I can go to any club with you. I can buy you drinks on my card. Yeah. But I would never look at you some type of way because you're enjoying yourself.
You also need to have a strong support team around you. If my husband decided he didn't want to get sober, I wouldn't have been able to stay sober. Like we tried it. We tried. It's like, okay, babe, I'm not gonna drink anymore. He continued to drink. Oh, well, I'm just gonna drink when I go out with the boys. I'm just gonna do this. that
making extra rules don't work.
Oh, it does
We can have a drink on the holidays.
Does not.
Oh, we can have a drink on the birthday. Oh, it's Friday. We can have. It's an excuse. You gotta want it. You gotta want it.
And you have to have the people that are around you willing to support you. If they can't stay in the house with you while you're trying to get sober, then that's something you need to think about too. That person might not be the best for you to be around anymore. You have to leave that. I had to leave. We had to separate for a little bit. It was probably the hardest thing in my life. I don't even want. I'll talk about it, but it's gonna bring up a lot. Like, we had to leave each other to get better for each other.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to put it.
Mom, I mean, you know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know, it's a very sticky conversation. It's very hard, but like they both said, you have to do it as teamwork, and you as the person that's drinking has to want to stop. You can't make me stop. I'll stop when I'm ready. And I seen a lot of stuff. Between the three of us. We lost a lot. We went through a lot. And I remember there was a time that me and B were supposed to hang out and go out for lunch one day. And we were back home. And he was like, "No, Mom, I got to go to work." And I knew it was a lie. He was just going to go hang out with friends to go drink. And it always worried me because he had to drive home. Yeah. And I remember him telling me one time, "Mama, when you show me your license, then you can drive. Until then, I will drive." I said, "Well, you know what? When you go to jail or crash that car or kill somebody, don't call me." But you know that was a lie, because I would have been there in a drop of a dime.
Tough love.
And that's the reality of it.
I said, you have to want it as a team.
Yes.
And that's what got us through.
There you go.
And I was so happy when we all came to that point.
There you go.
And it made us stronger and happier. And I think we have more now. You know, we can sit back and talk about it, and help anybody that comes to us for help. Just like quit smoking cigarettes.
I can give you advice.
That's another. Yes,
I can give you advice.
All the advice
on my experience, and I can give you my opinion, but I can't make you do anything.
And you have to think about what you got and what you can lose from it.
Amen.
You know, you got all this, but if you do it that way, you might lose all of this. And I wasn't ready to lose none of it. But you do lose some in order to gain.
There you go.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to ask next was, it's great to have people who support you and who encourage you to make not even just sobriety, but any positive decision to better your life. But along the way, and it sounds like, Bree, you were saying a little bit of this, that you had to tell some people goodbye. You had to say, this is not my life. This is not what I want. And I think even I've had experiences like that where there's people who I was friends with, family, the members that I don't talk to anymore, because it's just like, you're not supporting me. Why am I, no matter what I'm doing? And, obviously I didn't go through becoming sober, but other things, even going to law school or different things, just like, if you're not on my team, then I'm at the stage in my life, at least, where I'm like, okay, well, I think we're going to have to part ways, because you're either with me or I'm without you. Like, there's no in between.
Correct.
So I guess, is there, you guys, I mean, I know a little bit, but I guess for everybody else, are there things that you had to leave behind, whether it's material things, people, obviously locations, that, you family, left behind then, family, friends, that you're kind of proud that you left behind now. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The biggest thing is you have to separate from that environment, and I'm the number one to tell you, I had to separate myself because I was losing it between the drinking and the drugs and just everything. I was losing it. So for us to make a move from there to here to where, it was the best thing we could have done as a team. And I'll always be there. but damn, it was hard. It was hard.
We had to leave a whole city
Yes.
behind. We had to leave like literally a city, a group of people, and the hardest part was the family.
Yes.
Like our
love our folks and love the memories that we made. All those memories were not bad memories.
Correct.
No.
Correct.
But you have to distance yourself from people sometimes when you're evolving and or changing, and that other person is staying the same.
Yeah.
You know, you can't blame your downfall on somebody else, but if you put yourself in that environment and you're weak, we all get weak, guys. We all get weak to anything in life. And when you're weak and your mindset isn't right, you never know when you could fall off.
Yeah.
So you do. There's friends that I love and I adore and I appreciate and I grew up with, but I just can't be by their side right now because their moves are different.
All right. So yes, we had to leave an entire not state because we're in the same damn state now. A whole city behind. Like it's heartbreaking, because me and my situation, my family kind of left me at a very early age. I was 14 years old when my family literally cast me aside, and for me to have to go through life and wonder why they didn't care about me was really hard. So my mother, she was an alcoholic too. That was one of the reasons she actually passed. She ended up with cirrhosis. She passed away at 37 years old.
That's young.
At 37 years old, and so that I looked at that. I always thought that I would never let that happen to me, but it did. It did. So family members leaving behind, just a whole entire mindset. You have to leave.
Yeah, and with that, I guess comes what I'm gonna kind of go into next. Comes with that is backlash. So whether it's leaving people, making decisions, changing careers, whatever the case may be, every step of the way there's going to be backlash from people in your life who maybe you thought were supporting you, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, you're doing this? I don't want nothing to do with you. Have you guys experienced that? It doesn't have to be, with just your friends or your family. It could be with anything. It could be with people you've met on Twitch who, when you started streaming on a different platform, or maybe like, oh, I don't want to, hang with you guys anymore. I don't support that decision. Have you guys seen a lot of that? Have you felt a lot of that, especially recently?
So, I hate the word jealousy, but jealousy can be an ugly trait. It makes me sad, but you can only do what you can do. Is like, accept me for who I am, and this is us. Like, never would have thought we would have been here in this. Like we can all grow and be happy together. We don't have to be, that word. Things, it just things happen for certain people at certain times. We're put in this situation. Maybe a year or two down the line, we're able to help someone in their situation and get them to grow their channel, or just in life in general, themselves, to help grow themselves. So a little you can see, and yes,
I think backlash comes with any journey throughout life, just not even the streaming space. I think backlash is going to come with any journey. I think that all the communities that we are a part of, they all mesh together well because we are very much alike but very opposite at the same time. So not even in the streaming space, but outside the streaming space, not everybody is going to agree with your decision. Some people are going to think that the other route is better for you. You have to, at the end of the day, decide what is best for you and be willing to take a chance. A lot of people are scared to take chances because they're comfortable. And that's a lot of things that we could speak on outside of the streaming space. 100%. People might know the direction they want to go and they need to go, but they're comfortable where they're at, so they don't do it. And I think at the end of the day, like a couple people were saying, no matter what decision you make and that decision you think is best for you, it might not even turn out the best for you. You might hit your head on a wall and be like, damn, I should have listened to blah, 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 because that wasn't the best for me. But you have to live and you learn. You have to live and you learn. You know what I mean? Just like, okay, to double back in the streaming space, like Breezy was saying, listen, jealousy is a horrible word to hear. It's horrible, guys. It's horrible. And some people will feel jealousy no matter what in life. I got hit with jealousy growing up all the time because my folks, and I hate this, the situation that I grew up in, when I was up, they were mad at me. my folks were upset, and they would downplay me sometimes and talk down on me. But when I was down, it was all it was all good. Misery loves company, and it sucks. But I think at the end of the day, it's something that somebody will always see. And comparing growth in any situation, even like, let's say, Ray's situation when he's growing as a lawyer right now, there's somebody on the sideline that's saying, why am I not a lawyer? Why does he get to be a lawyer? You know what I mean? So I think, backlash is going to come from everywhere, but it takes a real one to deal with the backlash and not let it get to them to where it gets to a jealousy point.
And we've had a lot of that.
It's hard, guys.
Negative. Oh, you're not going to succeed. You won't be able to do it.
From people we grew up with,
family members, and tell us, oh, if you move back to Orlando, it's not going to be good. It's going to be nothing but trouble, But you know what? We've proven them wrong. This was the best move we could have ever did.
So yeah, backlash is everywhere with everybody, no matter what you do in life, and it can create horrible traits, and I think those traits will come to light. And you hope that people stick with you through your journey to celebrate your success, but there will be people that will not celebrate your success because they want that success and haven't worked hard enough for it, or haven't been blessed with it at that time in their life. Everybody's journey is different. That's why you can't compare your journeys to somebody else and wonder why I'm not taking off in what I'm doing. Let that person succeed, celebrate their success, and you might get that loving back onto you because karma's real.
And that's like, it's unfortunate, and I've had that experience also where, there's people who don't get it. They're like, you're a lawyer, why would you do this also? Why don't you just do more of that? Right, and it's and there's people who said to me, I've had people straight up say to me and DM me on Twitch, saying, oh, you're throwing your legal career away. And I'm like, and these are people who I'm friends with, people, and I these type of things don't bother me because at this point I've overcome that question. That was something I had to think about seriously. I was like, well, I went to law school. I spent all this money. I got scholarships. I did things to be able to get into the position that I'm in now. And, at the end of the day, I look at my degrees as tools rather than the end game. They're tools that allow me to do things like this. Like if I didn't go to law school, I would never be able to do this.
It's amazing that you use that for that.
It's just a different way to use different things. And unfortunately, with backlash and stuff like that, there's going to be people who don't get it. And that's one of the harder parts, especially when your life is so public. At least like my life is very public. I post a lot on Instagram. I always have. It's hard for me not to have my information everywhere because I am a lawyer and it's very easy to look up. It's just you can just pretty much Google it and it will come up. So it's like a little bit of everything, and that's also why I don't. And this is actually something I want to work on. We're going to talk about that next, so we'll lead into that. Something I want to work on moving forward, and I'm going to ask you guys the same question, is I want to cross-pollinate my lives a little more. I feel like I separate them a little bit too much, where I could be intertwining them a bit more and letting people from my legal life and Instagram and my personal life more in the content creation space on Twitch, on Kick, on wherever, and letting the two kind of mesh together. So I guess my question to you guys is, moving forward towards the end of the podcast, we're going to go through some Q&As, but I guess the last question before the Q&A portion is, if you had to give a one-liner, each of you a goal, doesn't have to be a streaming goal, a goal for 2024, what would that be?
Let me think about that, because I can kind of I want to say that do you, boo boo, just do you. That would be my thing. Don't worry. Just do you.
Mom? I would say to be I don't know. I think for me is to be happy and to, damn, I want my health to get better.
Yeah.
But, as you get older, things happen. Functioning, breakdown and stuff like that. And it's a worry wart for me. Like I wasn't able to sleep for like the last 3 weeks because I was so worried about my doctor's appointment. Right. Because my one that got canceled was going to give me my results of everything. So I was kind of worried. And then when it was canceled and now it's a month away, I'm able to sleep all week. I don't stress. I stress a lot. I do. I stress a lot. I worry about these two. Even though they're home, I still worry.
Be happy, less stress. Thing. That's a good goal, though. That's a perfect goal.
I didn't hear what he said.
That's a perfect goal. Be happy, less stress.
Yes.
I think
stress,
everybody can use a little bit of that. Yeah.
I think 2024. I think self-health, man. Self-health. Work on yourself. And if you're happy with yourself, people will be happy with you around you. Let that energy radiate off of yourself because you're proud of yourself and people will gravitate towards you. Don't worry about necessarily working on things outside. Work on yourself first and people will notice the gains that you put in to make yourself a better person in 2024 and let that radiate so people can gravitate towards you.
Right, I saw you.
Last but not least. Breezy, you're the last one.
Me?
What's your goal?
Oh, my goal. Let's see.
Man, I'm about to be on my hot girl summer shit out here. That's my goal.
It could be simple. Yeah, it could be whatever.
I'm telling you, 2024.
Okay, well then I want to be a team lead at my job. I truly do. I want to be a team leader there. I'm already kind of in that role right now. They have me shadowing and stuff. So I think with me it'll be work related. I think to become a team leader at my position right now.
I love it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, because if you're happy at your job, then you're gonna.
I love it.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. So I think
retweet.
That's a good goal. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Everybody's a good goal.
That's good. I mean, so I guess we'll go through. So there's a couple questions that everyone has submitted that we did cover. So if I don't go through your question, it's not because we're ignoring it. It's because we probably covered it, and we don't want to. I mean, we could talk all day. We've done it before. So
you got the right person, right?
But we do want to be courteous to everyone else's time.
What's your goal?
My goal?
2024. Yeah.
My goal was to be better at combining my two lives and not keep them so separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Which is good too. And I know Ray so I can't really validate that for myself because, I mean, this is my life. So there's no reasons of intertwining things. But for you, what would be the reason that you would want to keep them separate? Do you think it's beneficial that people in, let's say your area of business does not know about your content creation? Or do you think it's beneficial for them to know who you are behind the scenes as Ray the lawyer?
I think it doesn't even have to do with the business aspect of it. I don't even care what, like I said before, I don't care what people think about me. You know what I mean? At this point in my life, I'm like, this is me. You take me or leave me, whatever. But I think it's more so the people that I know growing up and through schooling and just through working in different places who know that I'm a lawyer. I guess it's more so I guess it's more of an irrational fear is that people are going to be like, oh, is he just not a lawyer anymore? People don't get it. And that's the hardest part is people don't get that you can do two things. You can use a degree no matter what it is in any way you want. It doesn't have to be the traditional sense.
Right.
So that's probably the hardest obstacle that I've had to overcome just over the past 2 years too. Is just managing both and managing other people's expectations of me when it comes to that, because at the end of the day, everybody's got bills to pay. So it's
correct.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to care about sometimes. And it's hard to kind of have both intertwined. But I mean, I don't know. I don't care about anything else. It's more so just keeping them together and like dealing with everybody. Like I changed, perfect example. This is a perfect example. I changed my Instagram handle, right? A couple, like 6 months ago. I changed it. I changed it so it matches everything else.
Okay.
And there.
Was it your government before?
It's still my government.
Okay. You did, and I noticed that.
I switched it. And then I had like 50 or 60 DMs on Instagram. Is your account hacked? What is this? Is this an ad? Blah, blah, blah. Like people were going out of control. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm going to switch it back. And I shouldn't have switched it back, you know, and that's like a lesson I've learned. It's like, don't do things because other people are telling you. But I had people coming to me. They're like, this is weird. Why would you switch that? I don't know. So that's long story short of I probably shouldn't have switched it back. But I think I'm going to switch it in January. That was like kind of something, one of my goals, because I just want everything to match. I'm so tired of having two things.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, exactly.
But
what other people want you to do.
Yeah, and it's just easier to have one name. Like I don't need two things everywhere. But I don't remember. But you got off track. Surprise.
I'm sorry.
But we'll go.
I know.
Interview the interviewer.
We'll go through the questions. So this one's for Mama. Do you enjoy? And we'll try to keep these to like a sentence, 2 sentences, so we can get through a lot of them. Do you enjoy your son having such a fun and foolish stream?
Oh yes, 100%. And I back him up for it. You know, he does crazy shit, but I'm not gonna. I give suggestions because I know if I tell him, well, don't do it like that, do it like this, he's not gonna listen to me. He's a grown ass man. He's gonna do it the way he wants. Now he will say to me, you know, when I give him an idea, he'll say to me, "No, Mom, I'm not gonna try that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not gonna work." How do you know? Try it. If it doesn't work, then go do it however you want.
Do the crazy ass shit you just said.
I got his back. Both of their backs. 100%.
Okay. I mean, that's perfect. That's how it should be.
Yep.
This one is from, I guess we'll do that one last, because that one, it kind of bridges into what we're going to talk about at the end before we end it. Okay, so this one is from Acer. You know, we kind of covered it a little bit. What advice would you give anyone who is streaming, whether they are just starting out or a veteran to streaming? I guess we'll do like a little recap of what we said before, something quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. To me, just don't worry about it. Go in, have fun. Don't worry about the numbers. Just concentrate on you and doing what you like. Make sure that it's something that you're happy with. If it's something you're not happy with, don't do it.
Yeah. Don't be forced to do it. Enjoy it. Let it feel natural. Let it flow. Do not piggyback off of another streamer. Build your own.
Or if you do, make it your own.
Build your. Because
a lot of stuff, and when you say stuff like that too, it's not that you're piggybacking, because if you have to think about it, a lot of people
so there's two ways you can look at it. You can someone can be inspired by you, or somebody can legitimately copy you.
Correct.
And I'm sorry to say we don't name drop here, but we've been, you know, there's instances where channels have came into our channels and literally said, "Oh, I like you guys' idea," and took our whole format. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's why I say that, because I speak on experience.
Yeah.
You know, we've been there. So, and that's what I say, be natural, be yourself, create your own content, and work on socials. Pound socials to the ground. If you feel stagnant, pound your socials to the ground. Socials.
I mean, it's true. Nobody's reinventing the wheel here at this point.
Correct.
It's all almost been done before, but putting your own spin on everything is the best you could do, right? Okay, we kind of covered that one. That's the same thing. This is another one from Mama. Going into the subathon, thinking it was only just a few days. What has the hardest thing for you been to adjust now that it's going on for months?
I'm going outside going outside to water the grass and then coming in here to face and chat. It's the hardest thing.
Is that the hardest thing to deal with? I love you for that answer. That was amazing. That was amazing.
That is because, I don't know.
It's like
different
pressure. Know what? The one person I feel pressure from, and I have to call your name out, please.
Oh, we're name dropping.
I love you with all my friggin' heart. I can't say it the way I want, but I love you to death. Is cracking. Cracking used to mess with me, and I can't deal.
Cracking knows. He'll even say it when Mama comes back in the room, be like, "Mama, you good?" And Mama will be like, "You know what? I can't deal with this right now.
I can't do it. I can't do it."
So you would say just like whenever this, it's never off. It's always like you come back in and it's there.
Right.
Okay, it's a good answer. Okay. Howard, this is a good one. We didn't really touch on this. I think we did a little bit. So this is for both you, B and Bree. How do you keep your marriage strong after 20-something years?
Compromise. As is easy. I had to learn as a husband, as a son, and as a person that my decisions not only affect me, but they affect the people around me. And it took a long time for me to understand that. And the quicker I understood that, the better it helped maintain a healthy marriage.
Laughter, communication is key. We stopped talking. We started figuring out what was going on with us. We didn't ask each other if we were okay. If I would have known,
that's why I mute the mic, guys. If I feel some energy, I'll mute the mic and I'll ask Bree. Like when the mic was muted earlier, I asked Bree. I was like, "What is it? Tell me what it is."
And you still want it to be. It's not gonna be peaches and cream and roses. I was mad. Like, motherfucker, let me do this my damn thing.
Right. So
the football picks are mine. Why you put your hand in my stuff?
To double back on what Jen was saying, balance too. During the subathon, now accepting that we're gonna chase records. And now accepting that we're going to be here for a very long time, I think balance is key. Having those date nights, having that communication is everything to make everything work accordingly. Because even though when you live on stream as a subathon streamer 24/7, there are some things you have to take care of off cam. And those are the things that need to be addressed when you're not in front of the camera. And I think the quicker those are addressed, and the quicker the compromise and connection is made, the easier it makes it to have a healthy marriage.
That's why you had date night.
There you go.
Laughter.
Saving water too.
Laughter. At the end of the day, because he'll make me smile, because he's going to do something silly. Right. That's going to make me forget about him getting on my damn nerve today. So I do think laughter is key too. I really do. Find somebody that'll make you laugh,
guys. Okay. The next one is for me. It says, Ray, at what point in your life?
I didn't hear you. I didn't have my hair.
You didn't miss nothing. Don't worry. I said this next question was for me. Ray, at what point in your life did you decide to become a lawyer, and what made you want to be a lawyer? That's a good question. I guess so. I went to. This is a funny story actually. So I went to college for psychology, criminology, and fine art. That was my majors. I actually was a painter, and I did ceramics in college a lot. That was like half of my time.
I didn't know that. I like that.
I never did any graphic design, nothing. But I did have like a creative side to myself that I had since I was little. So I kind of always did that. Music, nope. I don't have a musical bone in my body. But art-wise, I that was my background. I guess it was more of my interest in crime and like serial killers and all of that type of stuff, and why people do the things that they do, that got me into law. I went to law school kind of on a whim, and I know that's crazy to say, but it's true. I was kind of graduating, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now, so maybe I'll just apply to law school, see what happens. And I always was a good student. That was something that I always have prided myself in. And that, I was the studier, I was the 98 on tests, I was the A average, like all of those things, which is great. But then when you graduate and you're like, all these things I have, but I have nothing to do with them, other than keep going to school. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just go to school more and then I'll figure it out. So I went to law school, and even in law school, and I tell everybody this, whether anybody wants to go to law school, is currently in law school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I still don't know what I want to do as a lawyer. And it doesn't change. You never know 100% this is what you want to do. So to that question, what made you want to be a lawyer? I mean, I love knowledge. I think that's the answer, is that I love learning and I love taking a challenge and figuring it out. Like even with this, like setting up a camera, setting up a mic, like I will stay up till 4 I can't stay up till 4 in the morning doing anything else. But if you give me a problem to solve, I'll sit and stay up and figure it out and teach myself it till I know it. And I think that's kind of that's the lawyer in me, is that I see problems and I like to solve them. So I guess that's why. Yeah. That's a good answer.
That was a good answer.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's good motivation for wanting to be a lawyer.
Yeah, or to be anything, you know. It's not always what you intend it's gonna be. It ends up being something totally different most of the time.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through 2 more. We'll save the last one because it kind of bridges into the last thing we're gonna talk about. This one says, where'd we go? This one's for Mama. Well, this is a good one. Okay. This is a good one. Does B ever embarrass you while on camera?
No. I can't say because he's silly anyway.
What about Brianna?
Oh, I don't like Brianna.
Brianna's coming back for the subathon chat.
Okay.
Yeah, look. Brianna's coming back for the subathon.
Yeah, it did. It made me cry.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's about the only thing. But I would like to see, maybe not Brianna, but Brianna's sister.
Okay.
Her less sus sister.
But,
okay.
Less sus. But still with those twerk moves.
No.
The twerking, the train level, I love it.
Do you like that?
Amazing guy. The twerk train.
Can I answer that question?
Wait. And then Dragon. Oh, sorry for saying
we're name dropping.
She said, B, you need to, every time you move up a level on the height train, you need to twerk.
Right. Every level is a stronger twerk.
It's the damn baby bottle.
Oh, like, the baby bottle, guys.
Burn it.
The Twitch babies.
No, don't. Oh, I can't stand it. That is horrible.
The Twitch babies.
Bad. It's so bad. So yeah, can't stand the baby bottle. Yep.
It's funny because I think it's, you know, because it's also, it's your family. You know, your family's going to embarrass you different than your friends would versus, you know, what you think is embarrassing. So I think, you know, even though you guys may think some of that stuff's embarrassing, I think we all love it, and that's part of why you have such a good community.
Like we were talking about earlier, the clips that you want to go viral never go viral, and the ones that you don't want to go viral. Guys, we've been getting crazy hits on the baby clip. I'm talking thousands of views thousands of views on the baby clip, and then 400 views on a gaming clip.
No.
Sorry.
That's how it is. It's always what happens. So that's a perfect segue.
The weirder the better.
Weirder the better. So 2 dads kissing with the final question. What off-the-wall streams can we expect in 2024? Of course, without spoilers. And promise not to hurt B too badly. Waxing is real. Love y'all.
I would probably just make it real short and simple on that collabs. When people come in town, like when KT was on stream, when Ray was on stream, when Tony and Angelic were on stream, for us to be able to meet people from the community and create content with them is mind-blowing. And that's what I would love to see more in 2024. Big events. You got Raz coming in town, you got Lazy coming in town. Like when these folks come in town, I want to create content with them, and I want to collab with the community more, just like we're doing now.
Okay.
I don't know. He's so unpredictable. I have no idea. I'll be honest with you guys. Like half of the stuff I don't even know. He ends up just doing it, like the twerking and the Twitch baby. So
it's
all
spontaneous.
You just never know.
It's all spontaneous.
You really never know.
I promise.
I'm here for it.
Some people will like jot down what they want to do in their segments and stuff like that on stream. Like a lot of streamers do that to stay on topic. Guys, this shit is 100% spontaneous. I promise. And that's how I hope it feels genuine. You know?
No, we know.
Yeah, he does not tell me and Bree what he's going to do.
No, so
right.
I'm looking forward to what the hell is going to happen in 2024
Me too, Baldy.
Because I don't know.
I mean, that's a good answer. Sometimes
that is a good answer.
better.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
If he knows what's going to come out in 2024, I'm going to tell y'all right now, he's not going to tell you.
That's wild because I already got plans, guys.
Yeah.
I got plans.
That's how big.
I got plans.
But
right, Dargis is real on this. I want it to be different.
Nope.
I want it to be fun. And when I get these ideas in my head, I hold on to them. And hopefully they marinate for a little bit to where I add to them before they're even launched. You know what I mean? Yeah. And hopefully they're fun, guys.
And I'll tell you.
I mean, come on, Kraken. You just said that he don't tell the mods. He don't listen to the mods. So why would he tell them?
But I mean, that's exciting.
Time,
that's a good question, though.
It's gonna be a good time. Whatever it is, to have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun doing it. So
that's the best way to put it. It's gonna be fun. It's only we don't know, but it's gonna be fun.
Ride the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're coming on a little over an hour and 20. So I want to thank you guys for coming on, Bree Mama. And the next time you guys can catch them live is all the time because they're still on a subathon. So that doesn't really work for that part of the podcast, but you can catch them on at B&Bree TV everywhere. You can see all their socials right down there below their name. B finally listened to me and put it there. And I'm gay. I sent it to him, so now he physically has the image.
You gotta add it somewhere.
Right.
But yes, I want to thank you guys.
Opinion on this podcast or whatever.
I'm ready, Mama.
A podcast?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the podcast was amazing.
You have fun with it?
I enjoyed it. This was my first time, and so we were the people that you podcast. Mm-hmm. So what are you, the announcer?
So I would be I would be the host. So you're the guest stars. Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. I love Mama.
And you're the guest, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? This was our first one and I loved it. And we had a fine ass podcast.
Jesus.
You do you, Ray. I'm here for you.
Take this and run with it. I think this doubles back real quick to what I was just saying with collabs in the community and getting names throughout the community. This is exactly what it is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think content like this, I hope Ray runs with it. I hope he has more guests so I can be there and hang out.
The host was the mostest, yes.
And
yes.
I think this was a great idea on his part. And
Go check out Ray. It's Ray _TV.
And I know that Ray put a lot of work in it. This was a goal, guys, from months ago. This goal was completed months ago, but I know we had a lot of visitors coming in town. A lot of people.
It's like October.
Crazy. Yeah, it was an October goal. So shout out to Ray for putting this together, and I hope he continues.
And being patient.
And I hope he continues this with other people in the community. Get on there, guys. Do it. If Ray hits you up, do it. I want to see it.
Thank you for having us, Ray.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming on. I will see you guys. My stream's going to go down, and then it will go back up in a little bit for a while, but they're going to be here. So go say hello to them. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye.
once again for the
Bye.
opportunity.